Alright, good everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And also salam sejahtera to all my students DHT01 and also DHT02. Today's lesson is about the energy flow. We like to discuss about energy flow through the ecosystem. Before this, you learn already that ecosystem, when we study about the ecosystem, we are going to look into two important things. The first one, ecosystem, is about the energy. The second one, we are discuss the ecosystem is all about the nutrient. When we discuss about the energy, we know that energy is flow in one direction. But then when we are discuss about the nutrient, we learn about the nutrient is cycle throughout the ecosystem. We learn already about the ecosystem in the aquatic environment, involve the lake ecosystem. And we also learn about the ecosystem concept on the terrestrial environment when we discuss about the rainforest ecosystem. Right now we focus on the energy flow. During we discuss about the energy flow, we need to discuss how does the energy is flow from the producer going to the consumer. When the energy is flowed from the producer going to the consumer in one way, from its source to the consumer, we are discuss about the food chain. Food chain is about the transfer of the food energy up to the trophic level. So from one trophic level to the next trophic level, when we discuss about the transfer of energy, we are discuss about the food chain. And then the interconnected food chain. The interconnected food chain involve a different trophic level of the organism. We are discuss about the food web. So differences between the food web and the food chain we already discussed on the question given. Then we look for the types of food chain. There are two types of food chain. The first type of food chain is a grazing food chain. The grazing food chain have a producer. The producer is a plant. When we discuss about the detritus food chain, the producer is a detritivore. So detritus food chain, the energy is come from the dead organic matter. Meanwhile, for the grazing food chain, the energy source is come from the sunlight. When we going to look about the energy flow, we also need to understand about the trophic level. Trophic level is about the organism position in the food chain. So we are discuss about the first organism which called as a producer. Producer is a first trophic level. Producer is very important to incorporate the light energy and then convert it to the chemical energy. So the first level where does the chemical energy is fixed into the organism is the first trophic level. The producer is fed by, so the arrow here is indicate the energy transfer is fed by the herbivore, primary consumer. Primary consumer feeds the chemical energy in the form of their biomass. So primary consumer is the second trophic level. Primary consumer feed by the secondary consumer. The secondary consumer is a carnivore. The energy is transferred from the second trophic level to the third trophic level. So at the third trophic level here is belong to the secondary consumer. But some of energy will be lost to the environment. The secondary consumer feed by the tertiary consumer. The tertiary consumer feed a small amount of energy from the secondary consumer. Some of energy is lost to the environment. Tertiary consumer indicate for the fourth trophic level. So trophic level is a organism position in the food chain based on their energy in the nutrition. And then we are going to learn on the how does the food chain is being occur in the terrestrial environment and also aquatic environment. We are going to discuss on the grazing food chain. At the terrestrial environment, usually the producer is a plant. Meanwhile, in the aquatic environment, mainly the producer is a phytoplankton, plankton which is in the plant type. The Primary consumer for the terrestrial environment is a insect, for example. But then for primary consumer in the aquatic environment usually indicate by the zooplankton, a plankton in the animal type, and so on. Some of energy from first trophic level going to the second trophic level also being lost. Energy also being lost when they transfer from the second trophic level to the third trophic level. The energy gain to loss, and then again more loss to the environment when it comes to the top carnivore. At the fifth trophic level, a little energy is left, so it cannot support next trophic level. So usually the trophic level, maximum trophic level is 4 or 5 trophic level in one way direction of energy in the food chain. So jarang kita nampak lebih daripada 5 trophic level, sebab tenaga ni daripada satu trophic level kepada trophic level yang berikutnya dia akan hilang kepada environment. So sebab itulah kita akan nampak helang ataupun jerung yang berada di kawasan akuatik ini tidak lagi dimakan oleh organisma lain. Kita jangan jawab dalam aspek haiwan ni kuat dan tidak mampu dimakan oleh haiwan lain. Dalam aspek ekosistem kita akan bincangkan bahawa tenaga yang ada pada helang ataupun tenaga yang ada pada jerung pada trophic level yang kelima tidak mencukupi untuk support next trophic level. So bila kita bincangkan tentang food chain, bila kita nak bincangkan dia kepada dalam bentuk ekosistem, biasanya saintis akan buat dalam bentuk piramid. So ecological pyramid ini ada dalam 3 perkara. Yang pertama pyramid of numbers, the second one pyramid of biomass, yang ketiga adalah pyramid of energy. Setiap ketiga-tiga ni ada kelebihan dan ada kekurangannya untuk bagaimana kita mengkaji tentang feeding relationship of the energy transfer ini. Yang pertama sekali kita akan bincangkan tentang pyramid of number. Pyramid of number ini mudah. Kita mengira, we count number of individu pada setiap trophic level. For example, kita mengira bilangan rumput yang ada pada satu-satu kawasan itu, ya sebanyak 5 juta kalau kita mampu mengiranya. So apabila dia meningkat kepada second trophic level, didapati bilangan individu organisma yang ada pada second trophic level ni semakin sikit. Ya, belalang ada sebanyak 708,000 belalang. Dan kita akan mengira pula bilangan katak. So ada 354,000 katak. Dan kita akan mengira bilangan burung, ada 3 bilangan burung sahaja. So ini berkaitan dengan pyramid of number. It's about the number of individu for each trophic level. Namun dia ada satu kekurangan dia, iaitu kita sukar untuk mengira haiwan pada satu kawasan yang sangat besar ya. Itu kelemahan dia ya. Kelemahan untuk pyramid of number. Kadang-kadang pada satu situasi pyramid of number ni boleh menjadi inverted. So highlight perkataan inverted. For some situation dia boleh jadi inverted. So pyramid of number boleh jadi inverted. It can be inverted pyramid of number. So for example, dalam satu situasi ni ada satu pokok oak. Pokok oak, ya, pokok oak tree ni ada satu saja. Dan pada satu pokok ini terdapat banyak serangga yang berada pada pokok tersebut, di mana dia mendapatkan nutrisi daripada satu pokok tersebut. Dan dalam atas badan serangga tu ada banyak parasitik protozoa yang mendapatkan nutrisi daripada atas badan serangga tersebut ya. So kita boleh lihat keadaannya seperti ini. So ini pyramid of number. Walaupun tapi bilangan dia banyak, tenaganya sikit ya. So ini adalah pyramid of number. Sebab kita boleh nampak bagaimana dia berlaku dalam keadaan inverted. Ya, ini adalah yang typical. Yang ini yang paling popular iaitu aquatic environment di mana phytoplankton ini sedikit tapi zooplankton lebih banyak berbanding dia. Phytoplankton boleh support zooplankton apabila phytoplankton ini boleh membijak dengan lebih cepat. So ada advantage dengan disadvantage of pyramid of number. So easy to count the number of organism adalah satu advantage penting. Namun pyramid of number does not indicate the amount of energy. Highlight perkataan ini. Does not indicate amount of energy transfer from one trophic level to another trophic level. So ini disadvantage dan yang paling utama. Sebab kadang-kadang satu bilangan pokok ini mampu support lebih banyak bilangan insek. So kita tak boleh kata satu pokok tenaganya rendah. Satu pokok ini tenaganya sangat banyak sehingga dia boleh support banyak insek yang akan hidup di atas pokok tersebut. So ini adalah satu advantage dia. Sebab kita tak boleh indicate bilangan yang kecil, tenaganya adalah kecil. So kita tak boleh lihat macam itu. Ya, ini adalah satu disadvantage yang paling utama sekali kepada pyramid of number, because the number of individu does not indicate a total amount of energy at each trophic level. Ya, itu saja setakat ini. Nanti kita akan sambung kepada pyramid of biomass kepada video yang akan datang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera semua pelajar.